So next up, we've got Pinus parviflora gojen. Now, I love the Japanese white pines. The white pines from Japan are so unique and so different. This particular one has very, very short needles, one of the more shorter needled Japanese white pines, but it has a little bit of a twist to the needle. Now, the habit on gojen is shorter and more bushy. So you're gonna have a plant that almost makes that bonsai type feel by itself. It could easily be trained into a bonsai as well. I love what the Japanese white pines do out in the landscape and garden. I know Brian Rule always says, hey, I picked out this tree, and it's almost always, if he's going for conifers, a Japanese white pine. I mean, the white pines, they draw my desires for the garden as well, because they're just so unique and different. And as you can see, the way these plants just have space, but it has it filled with needles that are short and dense, it makes you almost think of like a Makawa pine, and that's what draws me to it. Now, what they do is they have this sort of bluish kind of silver kind of color to the needles, so it gives good color out in the landscape that contrasts very well with your Japanese maples as well. That's how I see conifers all the time, is how do they pair with Japanese maples? And this one does it extremely well, probably because it's from Japan. I mean, the Japanese white pines, they're electric. Now, gojen is a plant that'll end up getting about 4 to 5 feet tall by about 4 to 5 foot wide in 10 years with a really unique shape to it. This plant is a tree you can use out in the landscape and garden as a full specimen all by itself, or out there pairing with your other plants. Excellent evergreen interest that just gives you a very unique, distinct texture and shape when it comes to conifers. And Japanese white pines, they rock. Gojen, it definitely does as well.